Ooh. I know my bra was gonna be out in this video. Hey. It's been some time since I've been here, and I'm here to say, if you're looking for a backflip or a cartwheel, whatever those whatever I said I was gonna do in the intro of every video, you might as well go ahead and exit this one, baby. I am not giving no cartwheel in this video. You know something, I really should have thought a little bit harder about that intro before I suggested it, but we're not taking that into 2023. So feel free to leave a recommendation for other ways I can introduce these videos. We're gonna start with wine today. On a serious note, I'm also gonna try to balance looking at the camera and looking at the viewfinder, or whatever that thing is called. I'm so excited to be recording again. As I've mentioned, have been slacking. I went to New York for Thanksgiving and everything else, and I left my camera charger there. Yes, I did indeed. So I have been a little bit behind, and also just trying to catch up on life stuff. So yeah, it's been a minute, but I'm here to say thank you for welcoming me again. Happy holidays. Hopefully everyone is having a decent holiday season so far. Hopefully you're not doing any work and you're just relaxing. I have like a Christmas tree up. It is not really the cutest right now, so we'll wait. I don't know how many days I have till Christmas. Less than 7. I'm gonna try to put some more ornaments on that girl because she's looking a little yeah, she's looking a little yeah, I'm so excited still to be recording today and chatting with you guys again. Today I'm going to be talking about dating, hence the title. Dating, or the context of my romantic relationships, has always been a thing that I've kept relatively private, and well, not private, I guess, in the sense of not telling anybody about it. And also, let me hint that there is a difference between private and secretive. But yeah, I've been rather private about dating and kind of what that's looked like for me since I've moved out here, out to Seattle by myself in a new dating scene, dating pool. So I kind of want to chat about it a little bit, and I post some questions on my Instagram story where yeah, people could kind of just ask me about anything in relation to dating or my experiences thus far. So yeah, hopefully this is like interesting or teaches something, I don't know. But it's probably just gonna be mostly a peek into how things have been for me. Not too much. And we got some wine to supplement. Cheers. So without further ado, let's kind of just get into the questions. Actually, before we do that, let me start with an overarching view of dating for me and what that's looked like, what it's been like for the last year and some change. But you know what? Let me drink first. Anyways, as some actually might know, I was in a like serious committed relationship before I moved out here. I was in a relationship for about like 3 or 4 years. And since I moved out here, we've been like no longer dating. But yeah, for that reason, it was like a very weird transition into being in a relationship and having someone kind of like, you know, at your side all the time, to now having to explore and engage in new interactions with people. I'll say, you know, for me, I'm not really a fan of the work that dating takes. And I know that's a bit lazy maybe to say, but having to get to know someone, the ins and outs of them, you know, their red flags or green, it takes a lot of work. Sometimes I get a little bit lost and discouraged even working into that. Like sometimes I'll be talking to someone new for a few days before I get mildly uninterested. You know, it's not bored, just uninterested. And so I don't know, that's really been a hit or miss. But I will also say, since I've been out here, I've tried this new thing, which is dating apps. I've never used dating apps. I guess if you think about it, I'm still very, very young in adulthood. I'm literally only about to be 24. So there probably isn't that much time to be saying that I've explored this and that. But when I came out here, I did kind of peek into dating apps. So I think I started with Tinder. Don't recommend. Tinder is it's giving very, people come on there just to figure out the next lay. Like it's giving, we on this app to decide if we want to have sex or not. And, I guess some might argue ain't nothing wrong with that. Sometimes that's maybe what you're looking for. Sometimes you want somebody to be upfront, direct about what they want. Sometimes they don't want nothing else. But I really just wasn't really feeling that. Between the likes and lack of information you get via Tinder about a person, it just didn't really rub me the right way. So instead, I decided to focus a lot of my efforts on Hinge. Hinge, if you've never heard of it, this is not sponsored. If you've never heard of it though, Hinge is another dating app, but you can basically apply like more photos, more prompts of yourself. Like I think it gives a better opportunity to have someone get to know you as much as they can in a virtual setting. So I really liked Hinge. I've had some success with Hinge. I've been on a lot of dates via Hinge, but I'll also say that I've had quite a bit of traumatizing experiences with the people I've met via Hinge, which maybe one day I'll get a little bit deeper into, but for now, just know it's 50-50. And I would still tell someone to I would encourage them to utilize Hinge and see kind of what it's giving. I don't have my Hinge profile currently active. Like you can put it on pause and stuff when you just don't really want to pop up in people's search results. So I don't really have my profile active right now, but I'm sure that like there's certain times of the year where there's like this huge influx of people getting on there, and I imagine that's like right after the summer is over and like people are moving into the city or moving into said place. So that's a little overview and synopsis of kind of what it's looked like for me in the year. And I'm sure the questions I got to will kind of get a little bit deeper into some of those points. But with that being said, let's kind of just jump right into it. So like I was saying, I kind of took these questions, or I took this sort of like, those anonymous questions link that you can post on your story. I posted that on my story. I only got like 10 questions, but we're going to make do with them. We're going to see what it's giving. We're going to see what the girls want to know. Okay. And mind you, I cannot see who's asking me these questions, but some of you I can probably tell who asked me. Someone asked me, what, if you're comfortable sharing, is your sexuality? I assume they mean sexual orientation. I am so happy you asked this question. I have kind of only just now, like this year, decided to step into my queerness with confidence, and I realized that it's probably a piece of information that not really everybody around me has or knows, but I think the most important people in my life know at this point. But I will say, if you are a family or friend watching and don't know this, sorry. No, I am into both men and women. Call it bisexual, call it what you will. I've obviously been in committed relationships with mostly men, but I like them both. So do with that information what you will. Okay, so somebody said, which is more natural for you, focusing on one person at a time or having a roster? Now, okay, so the thing is about this question, it's a great question. I think it depends on the time of my life that I'm in, because if I reflect back on when I was in like high school, so young, but either way, I had a roster, if you will, and it was fun. It was so fun. I don't know what my little fast ass was thinking, but it was still fun. But if I kind of pivot into college and school, I obviously was dating one person the whole time. So, and I really enjoy that because when I got into college, I quickly got into those really like negative, dark places that they warn you about, i.e. depression, and imposter syndrome, all those things. It was just really nice to have the comfort of a reliable source in person. So, yeah, I'm sure I really like benefited in the long term of like him being there for me. But as I kind of jumped into Seattle, adulthood and timing, I definitely enjoyed having, I definitely enjoyed not having all my eggs in one basket. I don't want to say a roster. Like a roster makes sounds like, I don't know, it just sounds a little. But yeah, I just always kept my options open. I did not want to limit myself. I thought that, you know, I should acknowledge, and as well should you, that you are that girl and you can have everything you want in this world, but more importantly, what you deserve. And I figured I'm gonna sift through the options to figure out who was going to be the best for me. And that's what I did. I understand that obviously that like creates pressures that not everybody can handle, but personally me, I'm chilling. I just think it's fun. I think that's what dating is all about, getting new experiences with new people. And yeah, you just gotta have, there's a due diligence aspect in this, of course. Like you wanna make sure like you're properly communicating with anyone you are dating. But very much doable. So yeah. Somebody asked me, how do I respond to red flags that come up on a date? Do you address head on or wait to get an overall sense of the person? You know something? While we're at it, let me just say this. Let me kind of tell a quick story. I was on a date with this guy. Super, super handsome. Super handsome. What happened? Yeah, so we like went to dinner. This guy in tech as well. I think he worked for Microsoft. And what did he say to me? What did he say? Okay, so basically we were playing Jenga. Like we were playing Jenga, and I was like, okay, let's spice up. We were in like this barcade, and I was like, okay, to spice up the game a little bit, how about for each piece you successfully remove or I successfully remove, let's pose a question to one another. So I asked him. Now don't eat me up too much about this question, but I did ask him. I said, what was the demise in your last like relationship? Like what was the reason for you guys' fallout? And he had told me. Now, don't get me wrong. I guess there's no answer that's going to be good enough when you ask a question like that. That's going to leave a good taste in my mouth. But the man had came out of his mouth and said that he was too sexual. I said, build on that. Like, what do you mean by that? What are you, like, what do you mean? And he was like, yeah, like, I'm just like a highly sexual person. Like, I just like to have sex. And like my ex-girlfriend would probably say, like, I like to have sex a lot. Do I even need to say it? I mean, like, it's for one thing, baby. If you're trying to arouse me or you think that's gonna incline me to jump your bones, it didn't. It didn't. I don't care how cute you are. I mean, sure, you know, I love sex, but I ain't finna. I don't know. That just gave me, or it just gave me an ick. I don't want somebody who's gonna, like, you're openly admitting that. I don't know. I'm not even gonna build on that one. Sorry. Ooh. Sorry if you're watching this video, but that was icky and you probably should have answered something else because I don't want a person who just thinks about sex 24/7. And if you don't know, now you know. Next. Very general. Personality or looks? What do you mean by that? Both matter. Both matter. Girlies can eat me up in the comments about this one. But we're not going to say looks don't matter. Hear me the fuck out. Looks matter. At least to me. Because looks is what makes me gravitate towards you. Like it's the first thing I see, you know? It's the first thing I see. So, and it's usually what will entice, like if we're in like a public setting or something like that, that's gonna be what entices me to talk to you, come up to you, and like, so, but no, in the long scheme of things, I guess is what this question is asking. I have an eye booger. Yeah, in the long scheme of things, I would say looks is what brings me in. Personality is what keeps me. So, you know, you might make a little room, little progress on the looks piece, but I don't know, like, if personality not hitting, what the hell are we talking about? This is a good question. What would have to go right for you to entertain a long distance relationship if possible? Okay, if this is a safe space, I'll get candid with you guys. I was going to pursue the long distance relationship in my last relationship when I moved out here. Because I very well think that it's like, I think that it's doable, you know? Like you have two people that are in agreement to commit and be there for one another. Like why couldn't that be something you do? You know what I mean? But I realized I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I think that long distance relationships are hard enough itself, but we also don't specify that we're trying to do those things like in our current day and age. You know what I mean? At the point of adulthood that I'm at, which is still very, very much touching the surface. And I don't think that it is unreasonable for someone to not want to do that. I don't think that you should get maybe mad at someone for not wanting to accept that. Same way, you know, like, yeah, it's just the same. Yeah, it's just, I don't think you should get mad at someone for doing that and for not wanting to do that. But I just really think it comes with a lot of difficulties. If I imagined I was doing it, I'd probably want for there to be like an agreement where we see each other every like 1 or 2 months still. Sorry if that's too quick, but yeah, I need to see you still every 1 or 2 months. And I mean, we don't need to, I guess, talk every day or anything like that. But yeah, I would just say if I was doing long distance, it would probably be someone that I'm already like pretty, I really hope you can't hear the TV. Oh my gosh, I realized I didn't turn on the TV. If I was doing long distance, it would have to be someone that I'm already like, you know, fully committed to, invested in, love, etc. So yeah, it wouldn't just be any case, but as long as we got trust. Yeah, if we ain't got trust, we ain't got nothing. Whatever Mariah Science said. Also, a very clear understanding of how long this is gonna be, because it's one thing to be long distance. How long are we talking, baby? You know, like how long does this have to be the case for? I think I only have like 2 more questions. Very general question. What do you look for in a partner? I think the first things, I just want somebody who is kind and I want somebody who is funny. Because I'm a mess. I literally love to laugh. I love to smile. So if you can do those things too, obviously, absolutely. But if you can also make me laugh, I think I just enjoy people who are themselves. I just respect people who are themselves. So maybe that's mostly where that ties into. But yeah, a person who's kind, a person who's silly, goofy, person who likes to listen a little bit more than they speak, because that's also one way that I am. Like I try to absorb and take in information maybe before attempting to give feedback. So yeah, I want a person who listens. Obviously want a person who has like something going for them, like just goals. If you ain't hit the goals yet, baby, that's okay. But as long as you got them like lined up, you know what I mean? Like you're chasing, working towards something. You don't gotta be doing it every day. But as long as you're not forgetting the mission, because I also need an accountability partner. I need someone who's going to remind me to do what I need to do. And I'm gonna do the same for you, but this has to be a fair exchange. And then saving this question for last, are you single? I'll take a sip to that. No, I'll answer the question. I am single for all intents and purposes, but I will also say that I'm like talking to someone and I'm in like, so consider me maybe not the most interested in other things, but no, I'm single up until, you know, somebody asks me to be their girlfriend. I don't like to reveal too much, but I will say this. The girl that I'm talking to right now, I really like her. She knows who she is. Be damned if she tried to reveal herself on this. But, that's all that needs to be said. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably keep y'all posted in terms of what happens and what comes to that. But as of right now, I'm having a really great time and I'm enjoying talking to her, connecting with her, being with her. And yeah, I hope it goes well. Let me kind of end it off on like a final note of what I think. My advice for dating, I think that for one, it's important to remember that you maybe don't need to have a very clear understanding actually of who you are and what you want, because who's to say we should be knowing that at 23, 24 years old. But I do think it goes a long way to be open and be honest with people about, you know, your mishaps, your trials and tribulations of things that you're working through. And if you've been hurt before, as have I think that you should, if you have been doing this, avoid neglecting yourself of any further happiness. I think that, you know, sometimes it helps to just push ourselves out there and put ourselves maybe in a slightly uncomfortable position, because we never know the rewards that we're going to reap from it. And also just remembering that you're in control, you know, like you're in control of who you decide to let into your life. And with that, you know, have confidence, take ownership of the romantic love life and expectations and the criteria you set for the person you want to be with. I don't feel like we often need to, I don't feel like we always need to work down our expectations. I just feel like we need to rework where we're looking for it at. And yeah, sometimes that takes a new city. Sometimes it takes going to a new place. And, you know, if that's what you think is going to help, do it. I do think it helped me. I definitely think it helped me. But yeah, Seattle dating scene, if you're interested to know, is it's definitely diversified in the sense of different from where I grew up, obviously, like in New York. Like in New York is huge, the most diverse space you can think of, but in the same sense, there's the people here are still very different from New York. And that's what I mean in the sense of diverse, just different from the people and interaction that I'm used to. I'll also say one thing, it's so funny when you're like encountering young, successful people, because how they think about dating and how they maybe will budge or not budge on certain areas is so fascinating. Like, you know, sometimes I feel like I'm going on dates with people who, I don't remember if it's personality type A or personality type B, but it's one of those. You know, y'all know what I'm trying to say. And I just realized sometimes having all the glitz and glamour, like I've been on dates, sure, where, you know, I've been offered very nice experiences, but at the end of the day, like, it don't mean nothing if I ain't enjoying it, because maybe I just don't enjoy the person. So I've started to hold those things to just a lesser regard. Sure, you could pull up in the Benz, you know, or you could take me to that nice dinner rooftop. But am I enjoying this little hour and 30 minutes I'm spending with you? Debatable. Yeah, I have to enjoy you. And if there's anything to know about also Seattle dating scene, it's a small pool. It's a very small pool. Do not be discouraged if you are, I'm sure this happens in any city, but do not be discouraged if you are going on dates with someone you know who went on a date with someone you knew, you know, or no. So it's a very small dating scene, very small dating pool. You probably would want to make your rounds a little quick, but I still think it is, it's worth it to try here, just to go on dates, just to kind of figure out, one, I like to use it to also reaffirm myself. Two, I also think dates are helpful because you kind of get a sense of like who you are as a partner and as a person, and like how you present to people. Like you can narrow down and work on your flirting abilities, or, you know, just anything else that you're looking to like discover about yourself. So yeah, and if the date don't go right, the date don't go right. I've had plenty of dates that did not go right. I don't really believe in the whole ghosting thing. I don't, but hey, like that guy earlier, what was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to say? Sometimes it just don't go that way anyways, but don't be discouraged. Get out there and do it when you're ready. That's what I'd say. Just remember that you're that girl, and all the cards is in your hands. So, amen. Nevertheless, I hope that it has been hopefully an insightful discussion. And yeah, I'm gonna drink the rest of this wine, and I'm gonna get to updating, or rather I'm gonna get to editing this video so I can make sure I put it out in time. But appreciate anyone who asked questions. If there's more questions or things you're wondering about from this, feel free to let me know, and I'll see how I can work in those additional concerns somewhere else. So yeah, meantime, happy holidays. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Should be hopefully seeing you all again before the year ends, but in case I don't see you before Christmas, happy Christmas. Maybe I'll insert a clip of my tree, maybe not. But yeah, a Merry Christmas, and hey, hopefully you're spending it wearing matching pajamas. I'm wearing it with somebody. I know I'll try anyway. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you soon.